Micah Frankel for CageMinds.com. Here at Lovato Total Fitness. Up in Josh Lanier's office.
What's up?
Lanier Hybrid Jiu Jitsu. Super fight's been announced. A 10-minute grappling submission only match. You and Quinn Mulhern. We got some black belt action going on at an MMA fight. Redemption at the Rock is getting some flavor from the jiu-jitsu world.
It's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited about it.
So how'd that come to be? So, who approached you about this? How did it work out that Combat Sports Club is gonna promote this?
Sal Mora and JR from Orthoris approached me about it, asked me, would I be interested in it? And of course, anytime I get to play jiu-jitsu, I'm interested. So they set it up, and we got the contracts, and here we are, a month out.
So, especially in the combat sports world, mixing the two genres, even though they've been so closely, together, this is a big moment. What do you think about the two of you guys getting together, representing your own brands, and then the moment, putting it in the MMA cage, giving this kind of audience the opportunity to see more of just a grappling style at work?
I'm excited about it, and I'm sure Quinn is too. Jiu-jitsu is just an art within itself, and we actually get to go out there and put on the show for the fans and let everyone see. The general public, has a misconception about jiu-jitsu, I think, and just doesn't realize how exciting it can be. And I think between me and him, we're going to put on an exciting show and hopefully bring in a lot of new people to jiu-jitsu. If it's my school or his school, as long as they're doing jiu-jitsu, the job's done.
Quinn's representing Baja Gracie. You got Lanier Hybrid Jiu Jitsu. So just for us novices out there, what makes your hybrid Jiu Jitsu? What's the separating factor from other types of Jiu Jitsus?
I'm just combining the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu I've learned through many years, and the Japanese Jiu Jitsu I started with. I have a black belt in both of those, but Jiu Jitsu was just it needed tweaking, I think, for the cage for MMA. I think Jiu Jitsu by itself is just beautiful, and it's just an art. But inside the cage, the fight's a lot different. It's a panicky situation, and you can't do a lot of things you can do in Jiu Jitsu. So my style of hybrid Jiu Jitsu, I'm teaching my guys to positions, controls, things that really benefit in the MMA community, and really help them to get to the next level without, the downfalls of, I think, some jiu-jitsu players do in MMA. Some people have a hard time transitioning from jiu-jitsu to MMA, myself being one of them, it's a different kind of sport. So I'm really bringing, my guys up to a new level in jiu-jitsu.
And then from your time here throughout the years with the gym growing and everything, how have you seen the popularity of jiu-jitsu growing over just the last 5 years?
It's blowing up. It is blowing up. I'm so excited about it. We got, so many people coming in asking about it, and I think it's going to be the next big sport. It's just going to take a little time. Sometimes it can be a little slow to some people if they don't know what they're looking at. So I just think it's going to take more matches like me and Quinn are doing at Triple A MMA, so people can get interested in it, so we can start bringing a lot of people into it.
So for your guys' match specifically, is this going to be a gi or a no gi match?
No gi.
So no gi, and then it's an open weight. You both are going to be allowed to weigh in at whatever you want. For that kind of a match, do you think with two high-level black belts, does the size advantage come in? Because in MMA, Quinn was competing lightweight, welterweight. We've seen you from middleweight to heavyweight. So what does the size advantage mean coming in a hybrid match like this?
It means I'm going to be probably a little bit stronger, but he's probably going to be a little faster. And, muscles tire out. So I got to play it smart and use my technique instead of going in there and trying to muscle him. I don't want to go in there and just try to bully him around and gas out. So I think it's going to be a smart technical match on both our parts, and you really won't see the size play that much of a part of it.
For this matchup also, kind of described it to me as MMA without strikes being allowed. So can you specify on some of those rule differences?
In certain tournaments, there's rules. There's certain locks that are not prohibited. There's certain moves that are not allowed. But in this match, it's going to be everything allowed. You know, from the grappling aspect of it, from the jiu-jitsu world, from the wrestling world. Everything's kind of combined as one. So we really get to see, you know, pure grappling at its best, and I'm really excited about that.
You said you got 2 black belts, Japanese Jiu Jitsu and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So how did you find both art forms and go from one to the other?
I think one is just, you know, I started out Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, and it was just a progression from there. I've traveled all over the United States. I've got to train with some of the world's best. And I think Jiu-Jitsu within itself is a progression. You know, it started in one spot and it keeps progressing and progressing, and that's kind of hopefully, you know, what I can do with my style of Jiu-Jitsu is keep growing and making it adaptable to MMA, because, you know, first and foremost, I'm a coach. And I want my guys to do really well, and I want the best for them. And so I want my style of jiu-jitsu to give them the tools they need to get the job done correctly.
So we know the last fight that you were in, it was actually Bellator, and walked away with a loss, kind of retired. We can't really say retired though, because we know fighters, they don't retire. They just take a break and until the next fight comes up. So was this that those competitive juices also kind of started flowing again and you wanted to do something, or was it just this opportunity that made the opportunity happen?
It's both. You know, Triple A gave us a great opportunity, not only for myself and Quinn, but for the jiu-jitsu community. But I'm a competitor. I love to compete. I love it. I started getting some health problems, you know, and I need to take a step back from MMA. I wouldn't say I'm done with it, you know, but I had to take a little time off from it. And it was hard, you know. I struggled with it. I was like, you know, what's next? You know, I mean, of course, there's coaching, but you always wonder as a fighter, what's next? And the funny thing about MMA is you never say you're done with it. It decides when it's done with you, and that's just a sport. And unfortunately, you know, I still have that competitive drive, but you know, my body's getting old, and it's a young man's game. So luckily, you know, this came up, and I'm excited. I can't wait. I haven't really felt this kind of excitement in a long time.
It's a different feeling than the MMA game because this is so much connected to your heart.
This is my heart and soul. You know, Jiu-Jitsu is what I am, and if people know me, that's what I'm known for. This is something I'm going to do when I'm 80 years old. You know, when my students are rolling me out on the mat and dumping me out of my wheelchair, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And I'm just excited that we get to do it on this kind of scale.
So we get to look over there and we see the Naga heavyweight title that you still have.
Yeah.
When was the last time you got to compete in Jiu-Jitsu?
Actually, right after, it was 2 weeks after the Bellator fight, I went to the U.S. Nationals. I still felt like I had something left, and I'm still in great shape from the fight. Obviously, I felt the fight got over so quick. I was just very unsatisfied. So I went out to Nationals, got to compete against a Hilson Gracie team member for the championships, and I took gold home. So I was very excited.
New medals, all that, back to the Jiu-Jitsu world. Any last message you want to leave everybody? What's to come out? Check out this event at Camel Rock Casino.
Just everybody come out, come watch it. You know, Jiu-Jitsu is a beautiful thing. You know, it's an art. I just want to thank Quinn for taking the fight. You know, I know he's looking forward to you know, showcasing what we do on an everyday basis. You know, it's like I said, Jiu-Jitsu is worldwide. It's like a universal language. And I hope to bring in a lot of new fans and a lot of new people. Like I said, my school, his school, it doesn't matter. As long as they're in Jiu-Jitsu, I'm happy.
Thank you for the time, everyone. Redemption at the Rock, March 29th. We'll see you out there at the Camel Rock Casino. Triple A MMA presents. Thank you.